The pure consciousness, which is non-dual, eternal and all-pervading, exists and is known as world. World here is in apostrophes, between apostrophes. It's like the radiance of the gem. The gem is the one thing, it's unchanging, and yet there are all these apparent reflections in it, different colours, different facets, different universes even. This is what we know as world. When merely the objectivity of all this is removed, what remains of the world of diversity is the truth. In other words, it's simply the gem, which is unchanging. It is that consciousness itself which is manifest as the infinite experiences. This is the field of experiencing, the stream of experiencing. The waking state of consciousness stands in exactly the same relation to the turiya state as the dream state stands in relation to the deep sleep state. Just as our dream state arises from deep sleep, so our waking state arises from the fundamental reality of consciousness. In a recent video I was talking about how we often mistake consciousness for mood. Because what is our waking state? Our waking state is a series of moods. And it's these moods which direct our attention here and there. But the attention itself is uncoloured. It's the attention which is being directed and lost in the colour. The attention again is like the gem, but we forget the gem and we get hypnotised by all the reflections and colours that we're seeing. So this attention is the turiya. Once we appreciate, once we're in touch with the pure nature of our attention, this is the turiya. And this is what all our moods occur within. This is our waking state. To the enlightened person, however, all these states are but one turiya state of consciousness. And this is what the spiritual practitioner does. The spiritual practitioner keeps realizing the nature of the attention, keeps coming back to it, keeps appreciating it. It sounds quite boring when we talk about attention. We get this attention deficit disorder. It's like we're almost running away from the attention. We need to keep it engaged with something. We don't want to just stop and rest in the attention because it's frightening, it's scary, it's empty. But we can get over that scariness, we can get over that terror when we realize how full it is, how miraculous it is, how peaceful it is. So there's resistance, there's terror, there's fear of insanity perhaps. This is quite a common one, I think, in the modern West. This is one of the powerful discriminations we make. We make this discrimination between sane and insane, and we're terrified of being insane. So that's quite a hard fear to overcome, but we have to overcome it, because there's only peace on the other side. So this is the spiritual practitioner coming back to the pure nature of the attention. And if you find this not very interesting or a little bit disappointing, then you need to start appreciating the quality of this attention or its nature. It's the supreme Brahman, it's the turiya. Theories concerning creation or the transformation of the self or consciousness into matter are expressions used by teachers while instructing students. There is not an iota of truth in all this. We often hear about how the world is the materialisation of consciousness, and this leads to naive understanding of the yogi's ability to materialise matter. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. These are just stories, and they haven't got an iota of truth in it. So whenever we hear about consciousness materialising the world or anything, these are just storytelling conventions. When one realises the dream as a dream, then there is joy. But if this is not realised, then there is unhappiness when one dreams of an unhappy event. But even when you realise it's a dream, you still experience things on a very pure and primal level. It's like the phenomenon of the lucid dream. When you know you're dreaming, it actually becomes more intense. The feelings become more vibrant. But you know it's a dream. You know it's a dream. So these feelings, although they might be blissful and joyful, you can still get rocked to the core by untoward events that have happened, but you don't give in to despondency or despair or to unhappiness. The enlightened sage lives in a state of realization of the truth, even while he engages himself in diverse activities. In diversity he experiences unity. He rejoices even in unpleasant situations. Tactfully, I hope. I think we can just say here that the sage is not caught up in conventional emotional expectations. Though he lives in the world, he is really not in it. What more does an enlightened person have to gain? Just as ice is ever cool, the sage lives a natural life, doing what is natural to him, without aspiring for or abandoning anything. The characteristic of the ignorant man is that he strives to be other than what he is. Our whole culture is based on this these days, isn't it? We always have to strive for self-improvement. We should be lifelong learners and all the rest of it. These seem quite noble sentiments, but there's an inherent message that somehow we are not good enough as we are. So we need to watch out for that. It's okay to get on with learning and all the rest of it, but we do it in the spirit of learning, not because we're trying to improve ourselves. The only way we can improve ourselves is by accepting ourselves completely, without any reservation whatsoever.